Hey everyone, I'm Jeff McKee here from Team Nautique, and today we're going to take an in-depth look at the all-new Nautique PANORAY touchscreen display. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice is the size of this screen. This is a beautiful cinematic display screen at 12.4 inches. It's extremely responsive to the touch of a finger, and you can also access every setting within this menu using the Nautique helm command controller. So that's really nice when you're underway to go from the throttle straight to the helm command and to be able to access everything that you need in a nice big display. All right, so once the system's turned on, it'll bring you to your Nautique LINC home screen, and it's going to ask you about your ballast settings from the last time you used the boat. So I usually like to say no here because we don't know exactly what we're going to get into yet as far as activities behind the boat. So that gives you the open access to the menu, and the first thing you're going to notice here is the centralized location of the speedometer here. So you've got your set speed control where you can operate up or down by the touch of a button or by using your quick key over here on the helm command system. So once you get into using the system, you'll find it's really user-friendly and intuitive. Everyone's going to have a different preference as far as how they operate and navigate the whole system. In my experience, I usually start out by using the touchscreen before we get into an activity, and then once you've made your selection and you're getting into your mode, you've got your surfer, for example, out behind the boat, it's nice to switch to the helm command here to fine-tune your settings, or to say switch the wave, for example. It's just a push of the button here, a rotation, and you can click right out of it. You're nice and close to your throttle and you're under control and underway. So just below the speedometer here, you've got your fuel level and also your current depth. And then in the top left corner, we've got the vitals. They're different, your temperature, you've got your oil pressure, your voltage, hours, and RPMs. So these are your vitals here, and you can also access them and have them on display over here on the right side in a larger format. So now that we're out on the water and everything's running smooth, it's time to have some fun. And based on what activity we want to do, there's a different user profile that Nautique set up to make this easy. So you can access your user profiles from the icon here in the top center of your screen, also on the top left using that icon, and then additionally using the icon here at the helm command. So this drop-down display that we're seeing from each of these three buttons is displaying your most recent 4 user settings. So in the case that you want to go further and dive deeper into this, or maybe set up a custom profile, you can rotate to the main menu for the users. Once you're in here, you can see the full list of all the settings that the boat has installed. So once you're in the user profile menu, you can select any one of the existing profiles and modify it, or if you'd like to create a completely new user profile, you can do that with a tab here on the bottom that says New User. So we'll give it a name here. For example, Jeff Surf would be one that I might like. So we're going to go ahead and hit Enter there. So now that we've got a name for our profile, we've got all sorts of options that we can go through and tune up. So you can edit your name in the case you had a misspelling. You can also do an icon, which is cool. They've got all sorts of fun icons in here. Here's a mustache and a hat, which looks a lot like me, so we'll go with that one. Next, you've got your ballast settings. I like to surf with the belly at 50%. I like to surf with the port and the starboard at 100, so we can get into those. And then as we keep scrolling through, you've got your speed. 13.7 is where it's at now. We probably want to go down to around 11, and you can see as we come below 13, it opens up the surf menu here. So we'll set the speed at 11. NCRS is good at 5, NSS is at 0, that's nice, and then we've got the surf on the left. So everything looks pretty well in order. Now we can save our changes here, and now we've officially got Jeff Surf as a profile in that setting. So now we're going to go over setting up the boat for a wake surfer. So the first thing we want to do here is go to our user profile and select wake surf. It's going to ask us if we want to activate our ballast. If we want to have a big wave, then the answer is yes. So now that we're within the surf menu, you can see our different surf options. We've got NSS, we've got our NCRS, as well as our surf side. So if you've got a surfer that wants to go on the starboard side, you would select that side, or the port. It's easy, just a touch of a finger there. Also your intensity of your NCRS, how far you want it engaged, that's going to control your bow height. And then your NSS, which is your surf wave, how steep or how mellow you want to have it. So 5 and 0 is a really fun advanced setting that I like to run. So from there, the next step is your pedal watch or your surf switch. So depending on which you have or which you want to be using, we have to pair those. So the next step is we need to pair either the Pebble watch or the surf remote. So in this case, we'll do the Pebble watch. You're going to bump out of the surf menu into your main menu here and scroll all the way down to the settings. And once you're in this menu, you can see we've got pair remote and pair Pebble. So we'll go ahead and hit the pair Pebble. I'm wearing the Pebble watch here on my wrist. So we're going to get into the settings of the watch, and you can see already it's buzzed to pair the boat with the watch here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select here, and I've got a check mark on the watch. So already we're paired, Pebble pairing successful, as you can see. So what's cool about this now is we can get into the menu on the watch and actually control our boat. So let's go back to our home screen so we can see the surf settings, and then let's go ahead and change the side of the surf. So I've pressed it on the watch and you can see it reacting here on the screen. So surf side, you can change your NSS, your Nautique surf system. You can change the NCRS, also your speed, the stereo, and new for this year now, we've got the ballast shift as well. So a ton of awesome options on the watch. You can literally be surfing behind the boat and controlling and fine-tuning your wave as you go. So in the case that you just want to use a simpler surf switch that just gives you a simple left to right, we'll go over pairing that real quickly as well. So you bump over into your main menu and go all the way down to your settings, and then you're going to hit the pair remote. And basically what you do is press the button just a couple times, and then you'll see the logo appear for the surf switch. All right, so now the surf switch is paired up. You can see the icon up here in the status bar, and each time you press the button, it's lighting up blue to let you know that it is indeed connected. So we're gonna go back to our home screen where you see the surf menu, and if you pay attention to the wave here, as I press the button, we're switching the wave from the left to the right. So that's how you pair the remote. You take it out with you on the lanyard, and you can be switching back and forth in no time. So now we've got the main menu highlighted, as you can see here in the center. So we can operate using the helm command to rotate through each of these menus. So obviously we have our home screen, then you've got your stereo, your ballast settings, your accessories, user profiles, GPS, and your settings. So within each one of these, you can see there's sub-pages as well. So for example, in our accessories, we've got our lights, and then you've got your climate and your features, which can all be accessed by the touchscreen and touching the tab there, and also by using the Pages tab at the helm command. So as we're going through the main menu here, there's a couple cool things we want to point out. One being the GPS menu. So you've got your pages at the bottom here. So you can see the map here, obviously, but we can take advantage of this full screen by hitting the full map. So if you're operating a big body of water, you've got plenty of room to see where you are and mark a location or whatever you need to navigate back safely. The next thing we want to run through quickly is the stereo settings. So we're in the stereo menu here, and we've got our source on Bluetooth. This is where a lot of people are going to find themselves and be ready to pair a phone. We'll go through that real quick. You can see the pages at the bottom of the stereo here. So we've got Bluetooth, zone control, and audio setup. In this case, we're going to be in the Bluetooth menu to get the phone paired. I've got a phone here that I'm just going to open up to the settings and make sure that the Bluetooth is on first before you hit the start pairing button. So once you've hit it, it should only be a matter of time before you see, that was really quick actually, to find UM1A. So that's going to be the boat that we're in now. We're going to connect to that, and then you'll see it's now reading the music off of my phone, and it's showing the description of my phone there, iPhone Jeff. Next up, another great feature is the zone control. And what's really awesome about this is, depending on what you're doing, if you're just hanging out at the beach or you're towing a rider, you can completely fine-tune and customize different zones of the boat. So if we have a wakeboarder out there that's much farther back and they want to be able to hear the music while they ride, you can pump up just the tower. Or if you have a song that's really bass heavy and you want to tone that down a bit, you can turn down the sub. You can also mute a zone completely. So it's just really cool to be able to customize and get the sound out of the stereo that you like. Another really exciting feature here on the 2017 LINC system is the switchboard. You can see it on the right side of the screen here. It's 4 additional slots that you can put any setting that you'd like into and have it readily available at all times. So you can basically decide what are the switches that you use most, and let's get them up there nice and easy for you to grab at a moment's notice. So I've customized it to have tower volume, ballast shift, the surf side, and then the awareness cam. So these are 4 features that I love to have, but you can go through the pencil setting here and set anything you'd like. So maybe it's NSS that you prefer to have up there. It's really easy to get in there and put what you want up on that screen. You can see here in the fourth slot as well, as I mentioned, the awareness camera. This is all new for 2017, and it's an awesome feature. The new awareness camera gives you a wide-angle view of everything that's going on, not just behind the boat, but around the vicinity of the back of it. So when you're towing a rider, you've got someone swimming, in any case, you always have your eyes on what's going on. Even when you're looking back to the menu to get moving, you never have to take your eyes off of what's happening behind the boat. You can also override the auto setting on the awareness camera. So in the case that you're above 7 miles per hour, but you still feel you need to see what's happening behind the boat, you can always press Show Awareness Camera at any time and gain access to the screen. As you can tell here, there's a ton of awesome new features in the Nautique LINC PANORAY system. The beautiful screen just allows you to do so much more, access so many different menus. We've got the new switchboard, the new awareness camera, and an amazing group of designers in-house at Nautique that help bring this to life. It's a very user-friendly and intuitive system, and it's only available from Nautique. For more information on the new Nautique LINC PANORAY system, you can check out nautique.com, or better yet, head into your local dealer and schedule a test drive.